You've received the wisdom of the two fingers, have you not? Then I bid you welcome, as a true member of the Roundtable.
Welcome back to the Roundtable Hall.
Ooh.
Thank you, sir.
It's quite chill in here, isn't it?
It is.
I like it.
It is nice.
Maybe just stay here. Be a good place to have a hangover.
Yeah.
Roundtable Hall,
Just like gripping onto it for
like
dear
a
life.
Resident Evil safe room.
What's on delivery around here? It's just all shrimp. Right, okay. This week, we delayed this episode of Roundtable Hall by a week because it makes sense to tackle all of Volcano Manor.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Lots of stuff to talk about in Volcano Manor, from a new ideology, new characters, but I guess a lot of this area centers on one man.
There he is.
Rykard.
I thought it might be pertinent and useful to recap the family tree.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
that would be
Okay,
great.
so you're going to build this for me. Okay?
Take it away, Gavin.
Quiz in a few weeks, so
Yeah.
it's all useful, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
This is like when you do your mock GCSEs and they're really hard on you. So then,
we used to put the fear of God into you.
so then you do really shite at them and then they give you a kick up the ass to actually do some revision. Go on,
Is he listening? Okay. Right. Rykard is the son of which lady?
Marika.
No.
Oh. No, Marika's children.
He is a demigod.
He's a demigod and he's the son of...
The son of which mother? Or
Who's his mum?
parent?
Who's his mum?
Who's his mum?
I should have phrased it like that, although that doesn't seem to be helping. It is Renala.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get that.
The other main lady in play,
Yes.
has that kind of status.
Yeah.
And who is his dad? Who left her?
Radigan.
Correct.
Yeah.
Radigan.
Yeah.
So Radigan,
Madame?
I was like, it's not Radan.
got to have got a conviction.
Yeah.
So Radigan was just one of Marika's champions.
Yeah.
And Renala ruled over Liurnia and all the wizards, and Marika couldn't beat them at warfare. So she sends her greatest champion, Radigan. He couldn't beat her. And then eventually they solved that problem by creating a union of sorts. He just did something really unbelievable. So it was like this tactical union, like they used to do in medieval times.
Yeah.
And they had 3 children.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
they are-
How does that happen, Daniel?
Rykard, Rani,
and
Third one.
What is it? What letter is it?
what do you think?
R.
Our
Another R.
Piratey Joe.
Rani, Rykard,
Come on. Red hair.
Radan.
Radan.
So these are the 3 children of Renala and Radigan. So those are all siblings. And you would expect this from being the children of Renala. All 3 of them show a propensity for magic.
Yeah.
So we know Rani learns snow magic from the crone, Renna,
Yeah.
and dark moon magic. Radon, at the rocky feet of the Obsidian Lords, learns gravity magic.
Yeah.
And Rykard, we found out, is researched hexes.
Yeah.
So this makes sense. His mum is Renala, who is the head of the magic school.
Yeah.
All 3 of them probably been schooled from a young age in magic, or just have a natural affinity for it.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing we get from Tanith after doing an assassination mission.
Oh, yeah.
We get magma shot. So I think this is important just to go through because it shows you, one, Gelmir's familial connection with Renala and his siblings. So after discovering the ancient hexes of Gelmir, Rykard, son of Queen Renala, brought them back into practical use as new forms of sorcery.
Yeah.
So it's unclear whether he moved to Gelmir. When he leaves home, he's like, I'm moving to Gelmir. I need my own place, Mum. I'm not staying in Raya Lucaria. I need to, come on, moving out of, flying the cuckoo's nest, as it were. He moves to Gelmir, or is he on a research thing? For instance, if in our world, he's doing a PhD in magic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Gelmir. No one studied hexes for ages.
Yeah.
I've uncovered something. Oh, wow, Rykard, that's an amazing discovery.
I guess also you'd want to be close to her as well to stop maybe if anybody else hears what he's discovered there, he can be like, no, I'm the sort of lord of this.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
the lord of the manor. So he'd be like, no one can get into my hexes.
Yeah,
sort of
and
thing.
also he comes from royalty, so it's is he allowed to take an area for himself? Because
Yeah.
through when his father divorces his mum and takes it with Queen Marika. Remember, all three of those children, Rani, Radagon, and Radon, when their father, Radagon, leaves Rennala to go and marry Marika, all three of those kids become demigods through marriage.
Yeah.
Because their dad is now married to Queen Marika the Eternal.
Of course.
So they then get like bumped up in status and become demigods. So they become, more than human.
Yeah.
I wanted, before we delve into like what happens to Rykard on Gelmir, because obviously there's a fall from grace. He gets seduced by the serpent. I wanted to show this amazing piece of artwork by this artist called Stanton Feng.
Okay.
Friend of RKG, Andrew Goldfarb, sent me this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's an amazing bit of art because I think it's important to remind yourself of like, before we come in when it's all gone to shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't always like this. I'm not saying everyone was happy back then, but there was a period of order and rule. So here's a picture of Rykard seeing Tanith for the first time.
Right. Oh.
What?
So this is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's imagined this amazing scene of Rykard before he's been seduced, before Marika's shattered the Elden Ring.
Yeah.
When he's just like the stepkid of Marika.
Yeah.
My dad's left me, but I am now a demigod. I've got my own area. And we know from Rhea's necklace that Tanith is from a foreign land.
Yeah.
So there's so many details in this picture.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead here, but when Rykard dies and Patches wants to cheer her up, he gives us castanets
Oh, yeah.
to
And
give
there's
back to
Patches and there's
Marika. And he's like,
castanets,
get on your high horse,
yeah.
Tanith. Remember the
Yeah.
old days. And we know she's from a foreign country. So this picture, there's one more bit of lore that we haven't yet found that will unpack this more, but I still wanted to show you this picture now.
Yeah.
You can see that Tanith is from a foreign land and like Rykard's falling in love with her. Like I
Yeah.
imagine she's the one to the right with her hair exposed.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
kind of like staring at her. Over Rykard's right shoulder, you see Patches pouring in
Yeah.
wine.
Oh, yeah.
To the right of Patches, you can see Burnhall, War
Yeah.
Master with the little goatee beard.
Love it.
To the right of Burnhall, you can see the Crucible Knight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the idea would be maybe all the children of Marika, stepchild or not, get given a Crucible Knight
Yeah.
as a bodyguard. And then obviously when Rykard falls, that Crucible Knight is loyal to Tanith.
Yeah.
If you go left of Patches, past the lady's blonde head, go left one more,
Yeah.
Kenneth Height.
Is it?
We
That's
haven't
Kenneth
seen him in
Height.
ages.
Just a man of court, isn't he?
Yeah, just having a party.
Love partying, love
Rykard's got some
partying.
dancers over from a foreign land. Do you want
Yeah.
to come? Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Amazing,
That's
isn't
cool.
it? It's beautiful. Another one that we'll unpack throughout the course of this episode. If you look to the right of Rykard, if you see his two soldiers.
Yeah.
So we've seen so many soldiers in the lands between with that armor set.
With that helmet, yeah.
But with just different colours of pageantry.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's the same as the Radon set.
It is, yeah.
It's the same as the Godric set. They just have a different colour scheme and a different crest. So again, connects that they're all part of the big family,
Yeah.
but these are Rykard soldiers.
Specifically,
these are
yeah.
Radon soldiers. And we know that the red feathers in the hat are a symbol of relationship to Radagon,
Yeah.
his red hair. Now, we'll show this bit of lore later on, but when we find that set, that crest has been rubbed off because his men don't want to be associated with what he became. So we're going to go through, what we're going to do in this round table is going to chart what we believe Rykard once was and what he became. And
Cool.
why did he fall from grace? Because it's quite a tragic story.
To go from this. And now
Yeah.
he looks that way at a giant snake.
Yeah.
We need to make that like, that girlfriend meme where like she's pulling him along, but he's like looking back at the giant snake.
That's funny.
Tanith the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, pulling him.
This artist has done so many amazing bits of art, most of which I cannot show you yet.
This is unbelievable.
But I'll show
Is
you
it
some
painting
more.
as well?
Yeah,
Or
it's
digital
painting.
paint, yeah.
I think it's digital painting. But yeah, the other ones I can't show you yet, but maybe we'll bring them up as we can. But
Patches
just like a
little-
little reference, it just depicts of like what were the relationships in these between these
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in before times.
Also, that's one of
Stone
the...
Crowns.
Yeah, Stone Crown, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
because his mum was master of Ray Lacari
Yeah.
at this time.
That's
There you go.
cool.
Cool, isn't it? It's brilliant. I
like it,
absolutely
lovely.
love that picture. Right, okay, let's move on. We know this doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah.
Something happened to Rykard, okay? So again, just to like compact the timeline, everything is fine like that.
Yeah.
Then at some point in history, Marika shatters the Elden Ring.
Yeah.
She doesn't want she no longer believes in her life's duty to serve this outer god. She breaks the Elden Ring. We don't know exactly why she does that. And she is then imprisoned in the Erd Tree. That's where she still is.
Yeah.
According to everything we know. Then what happens is a period of warfare called the Shattering. That's what's depicted in that opening cutscene in the game.
Yeah.
When all her kids are vying for power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are pursuing different things like Rani, but like Radon and Melania are fighting.
Yeah.
And there's this period of warfare as they try to grasp pieces of the Elden Ring to get more powerful.
Yeah.
Now, Rykard doesn't do this. And this is what we'll unpack now going through items, is he pursues a different ideology, which I would kind of summarize as fuck it all.
Yeah.
He's just like, we should just deny these outer gods. We should like literally refute the proposition that they should have claim on this world. It's our world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should turn our backs on them. And hence he's known as blasphemous. So we need to like talk about why he is perceived like that in this world and how it all goes wrong and people stop believing in Rykard.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so quite a lot. We find this on our way up to Mount Gilmere, and it looks like a bottle opener. It's not.
It does.
But this is an ancient weapon, Serpent
Right.
God's curved sword. Curved sword fashioned in the image of an ancient serpent deity and a tool of forgotten religious practice on Mount Gelmir. Formerly used to offer up sacrifices, this sword restores HP upon slaying an enemy.
Did we read this description?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this ties into this idea, and we don't know this, like whether Rykard just goes to Gelmir and through his research, he's studying the volcano, he uncovers this forgotten religion. It's like,
Yeah.
because we know that the lands between has been ruled over by the Greater Will and the Golden Order for like millennia, say. This has probably been suppressed, like the Crucible.
Yeah.
You don't want people to know about pagan religion now that Christianity is on top.
Yeah.
So you suppress it, but he uncovers it and goes, this is from this planet. And through this, he starts to pursue it as a form of power so he can overthrow this alien power. It's like, this
Right.
is native to this earth. So
Yeah.
he starts believing in this ancient serpent deity. He's like, this is from this planet. I can maybe, as a demigod myself, harness its power to overthrow the alien gods.
Right.
So, you know, it's quite
Smart technique.
It's quite heroic. Like,
Yeah.
it's a revolutionary, like, kind of proposition.
Yeah.
Do we know how Rykard came to go to Mount Gelmir in the first place? Did someone send him, or
We have
did
no
he
idea.
just found
It's
it out?
hard to know.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
again, that's
yeah.
my supposition that he's either in his youth traveling on
Yeah.
a research mission. He might have just been hiking.
Yeah.
And he uncovered magma shot and he goes, whoa, this is a different type of magic here.
Yeah.
And he starts to. And is that the prompt that makes him move to Mount Gelmir and set up home there?
Yeah.
It's hard to know at what point this goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is why From are really good as well. They're really good at tying in story things to game mechanics. The idea that this sword, which is offering up sacrifices, gives you HP.
HP
Yeah.
back.
It's just
yeah.
like, it's quite like a neat little tie-in.
Yeah.
But once we get into the Volcano Manor, we obviously things start getting a little bit snaky. So this is a bit of concept art. And I don't think we noticed this when we played the game. This is the Temple of Idley. And this is where we fight the Godskin. And that's a massive shed snake skin.
We did not notice that. No.
This is our footage, mate.
That's crazy. We didn't see that.
So on the temple, that little purple shiny is the serpent amnion. That's what we give
Yeah.
to Raya so she can understand about her birth.
Yeah.
So this whole temple is in worship of the shed snakeskin.
We just didn't even notice that.
That's funny.
nuts.
That's when we fight a godskin apostle as well.
Godskin.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Remember the thing about the Godskin is they're killing any type of god.
Yeah.
So again, they're here because it's like, we heard there's a serpent deity. Let's get this one.
Kill this one, yeah.
Can make some boots.
So this is a little bit digression. I actually only learned this while researching this episode because I was like, Temple of Idley, that's a weird name. Is there a precedent or an antecedent for that? And turns out there is. This is Aigle, the queen of the serpents, a common folk tale in Lithuania and Baltic nations.
Oh my God.
So it's about human reptile shapeshifting. Ultimately, it's a story of a young girl called Aigle who is tempted by a snake, seduced and tricked by a snake to become its wife. and she goes and lives with the snake people, and then her family find her, and then they turn on her. Now, this is where it gets really number 23. Igly is a Lithuanian word that means tree.
What?
Specifically fir or spruce. And at the end of the story, she's turned into a tree.
Into a tree.
What the fuck? That's wild.
But yeah,
That's amazing.
Love his little crown there.
Yeah.
He's like, I am a king now.
it's like, Rykard.
He's got it on there as well.
It's really cute.
It's
I
cool,
really
isn't
like
it? But I mean, there you go. That's no mistake, is it?
No,
That's
absolutely. Yeah.
wild.
But I think the thing to take about that story is, like how snakes are depicted in a lot of mythology is seduction.
Yeah.
That they'll tell you one thing, and you might think, "Oh, that sounds good," but ultimately it will be your downfall.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of happens to Rykard. Doesn't look like he's having a good time. And I went around and I just like got all the portraits from Volcano Manor.
Right.
And if you actually look at his face, there's some people feel like you can almost see almost a
going bad.
degradation.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's almost like because he's the demigod and he can't easily be killed. He's almost like, is he turning into stone?
Yeah.
Is he developing a form of leprosy? Is the snake feeding on him and getting more powerful? Like rather than him harnessing the snake is extracting his life.
Yeah.
And at the end, if that is Rykard, he's having to hide his face.
Yeah.
It's got really, really bad.
Yeah.
That's the snake with a Rykard mask on, being like, "Yes, I'm fine, actually.
Do something with your hands.
Bring me more gerbils."
But yeah, so
No, I get that. I think that makes sense.
and I
doesn't
wonder
it?
if there's point in this fall where Rykard, being a demigod, being so powerful, having a great rune, was like, I can harness this, but ultimately it's using him.
Yeah.
And he's almost like gone off, like not really realizing that he's being played.
Yeah.
Well, he's just a demigod. If this thing was an
Ancient
actual
deity.
Yeah.
And also, with these games, serpents have a track record of doing this.
Yeah.
This is Kingseeker Frant and Darkstalker Koth. And in Elden, like, I think it's just again them just tapping in something in mythology.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
snakes are eternal.
Yeah.
But also like manipulating events from
Also,
behind the scenes.
from the earth. Like,
Yeah,
because
from
they're
within.
always,
From within, and it's like that ancient date that these are ancient deities in the world of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So again, just like a little bit full circle.
Forgot about these guys. Lads.
Yeah,
That's
Darkstalker. But it's good to think about the language used here. And we say this all the time. A lot of these terms are like contextual. So this is what he says when we find Rykard for the first. So we've killed the snake.
yeah.
And it's almost like a part of Rykard still lives within it. And he speaks to us from within the snake. But it's very hard to know, is this symbiotic or not?
Yeah.
Such a funny voice.
Very well.
I was really looking forward to you guys seeing this.
This was so gross.
That's our new sword.
We love it. All the little hands. That's got to feel good,
Such
though.
a horrible. All the bodies and stuff.
Showing myself and king as remedy.
The Serpent King, is that the snake speaking?
I will devour the very god.
Yeah, because I guess if the
It's hard to
Yeah.
know. Is that Rykard still possessing some degree of sentience? Or is the snake now learnt language and he's saying, I'm the Serpent King? Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to know. So
and I guess if because if the serpent's idea is to like devour gods,
and
then
that's
it'd be
what
like,
Rykard wanted. That's why he wanted to
Exactly, yeah.
harness its power. It's almost like he discovered that there was this god-eating entity, and he was like, "That's what I want to do."
Because I guess that's really interesting. Like that idea of like
Eat the rich.
who is using who for that.
Yeah.
Eat
because
the
then you'd be
rich.
like,
I love it. Yeah.
is he actually? That's the thing. Is like they could be both because he was trying to do that thing, but was he just under the influence of that snake?
Yeah.
So we're like,
And what we're going to see now is maybe that seduction of the snake, what it does to Rykard's character,
Right.
and maybe what he loses sight of in that quest.
Yeah.
So this is his remembrance, not the remembrance of Rykard, remembrance of the blasphemous.
Yeah.
Remembrance of Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, hewn into the Erd Tree. Rykard took the form of a giant serpent that he might devour, grow, and live eternally. I understand the road of blasphemy is long and perilous. One cannot walk it unprepared to sin. So that's almost a summation of his plan. He was like, to take on the outer gods, the greater will, I need to be as powerful as them. I need to be able to live eternally, grow, and then devour them.
Yeah.
So he's made this pact with this ancient snake to do this. But he knows it within the context of the world he lives in, that will be deemed blasphemous and that he will be an outcast.
Yeah.
Because what's blasphemy? Blasphemy, and this is not etymology, just definition.
It's just what it is. Yeah.
It is sinning against God. It's taking on God. So in this world, say the Golden Order is the dominant ideology of the religion. If you try and kill God, people are like, that's blasphemous.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
That's
God's
kind of
a
as
shit.
bad as it gets.
But he's like, he knows to do this. A lot of people might turn their back on him.
Yeah.
But he believes it is the right thing to do.
I wish he wasn't so wrapped up in the snake.
Well, that's the thing. It's obviously gone really fucking badly.
Because if it was just him and he was just a big guy, but he still wanted to just eat gods and like make the earth itself,
there's
I'd
another
be like,
thing where
okay.
the snake's not a dick. They actually revolt, get rid of it, and everyone's like, we love you guys.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Because on paper, when you're reading this all sounds great.
Pigeon.
And you agree with it, and then you watch the cutscene and you're like, oh,
Doesn't look great.
it doesn't look...
Optics on that.
Wait, and we're going to worship him now?
It's almost like the end of the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
When it's like, I can be that person.
Yeah.
I can take it on because I know what it will lead to will be a better world because he is the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And then
He is the
ate-
Lord of Blasphemy.
And then he ate the penguin.
What film's that? Okay. But within the world of Volcano Manor, there's lots of words that are connected to this. And the other one is that we hear a lot is recusant. Remember this?
Yeah.
So here's the definition. Obstinate refusal is basically you don't want to obey any laws, impose laws. You like question things and you try to resist it. Okay. Now, have you ever heard, this is a word that was used a lot in our world in the 16th century. Have you ever heard of priest holes?
Priest holes.
Holes.
Don't think so.
Okay. So in the 16th century, there was these things called priest holes.
That's not what I was expecting.
So after Queen Elizabeth I took the throne, she wanted to distance the Anglican Church from the Catholic Church.
Right.
So if you're a Catholic, you'd probably be killed.
Right.
So they were known as recusant priests. So a lot of like Catholic loyal families developed these little priest holes in their houses to hide their priests.
I have heard about this.
And they were known as
yeah.
recusants.
Right.
That's wild.
That's cool.
And they were like, back then, there were like things called priest hunters.
Right.
Who would go around killing Catholic priests
Damn.
Shit.
So they had to
around
build...
the time of the Reformation.
They built essentially these glory holes in the wall
God's glory hole.
to hide the priests.
Thing is, that one,
The glory of the church hidden in the hole.
I can't see the top of that one. I can see that one. I think you'd get away with.
I feel that one. It's like, what's this bit of wood?
Yeah, I'd be like, these ones here. I'd be like,
Maybe those are the ones where the priest got killed.
yeah.
Yeah, that top one's the best one.
Yeah, top one's
Yeah,
the best
that's
one. We can't see the top. We can't see that one. So maybe that looks normal as well.
Jesus is in that one.
Yeah, I thought that was Victor Morgenstein.
Like, I better not get caught with Jesus down there.
Victor Morgenstein.
But yeah, those ones not good.
But yeah, I think just again, like this, we're from a really good at borrowing real world language because recusants and there's hunting and it's hunting like for like.
Yeah.
And it's a period of like change of belief systems that if Rykard believes this, they will be perceived as blasphemous.
Yeah.
Now, Rykard wasn't always a bad dude. So this is the ghost that we have here in the foyer who tells us to kill Rykard. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
He tells us about the
yeah.
serpent slaying blade.
You're tarnished. Here to put the demigods to the sword.
It's way ghost.
Then please,
Not the ghost.
kill the great serpent. The one that devoured Praetor Rykard. I left the serpent slaying spear in the Lord's chamber. Worthy tarnished. Brandish the spear and run him through. The great serpent.
That unspeakable monstrosity. Prey to Rykard's ambitions, though blasphemous.
Like, he believed him.
Worthy sovereign, but they were reduced to gluttonous depravity once he gave himself to the serpent. Whatever that thing is.
That's not the man he knew.
Yeah.
That's not the man he chose to follow.
Yeah.
Someone.
Because he says he's been devoured. He doesn't think Rykard lives still
No.
to spare him. It's an act of kindness.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't want this.
I mean, that's the vibe I was getting.
And if you think about what he actually means with that is, once we get through the hidden passageway into the interior of Volcano Manor, it's a place of torture.
Yeah.
It's a prison.
That's all we saw,
It's
yeah.
torture devices. This is where the Iron Virgins are from.
Yeah.
It's a world of torture and pain. And that's not really what he wanted to pursue.
No.
Now, I think there's one thing to clarify. He does want to kill other Tarnished.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is we know the Tarnished, like us. have
So
come back-
Rykard wants to kill other Tarnished.
Yeah, because in Volcano Manor, they are hunting fellow Tarnished.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
And I
they've been
think-
brought back, haven't
Exactly.
they?
I
Yeah.
think that's why. It's just like, he doesn't want anyone to help the Outer Gods. And the
Yeah.
Tarnished.
That's all
And
they're
he
doing,
knows,
yeah.
and I feel like, when he says, like, he knows this would make him blasphemous.
Yeah.
I think that's what Rykard was referring to. He's like, I'm going to have to hunt my, normal people.
Yeah.
It's because if one of them wins, we're just going to be under this dominion
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know we're just killing these helpless people coming back, but we got to do it.
Yeah.
And this is the armor that we saw in that painting.
Right, yeah.
The other sets are known as Radon Knight armor.
Yeah.
These are not Rykard Knight armor. This is now known as Gelmir Knight armor because they have severed their association with Rykard. Armor worn by knights once loyal to Praetor Rykard.
That guy was just wearing that as well, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
What's it actually? I'm not,
I think he's got like a little thing there.
Yeah, it does,
he
yeah.
is, yeah. Amazing.
good spot. It bears an emblem that none wear any longer, standing as it does for a lord that fell from lofty ambition into gluttonous depravity. As the lord lost his dignity, so too did these knights lose their
course.
master.
Because imagine if you would serve in that.
Yeah, and
then
you're like,
all
I
of a
don't want
sudden
to be
you're like,
associated with him.
Yeah.
And then on the way up to Mount Gelmir, there's lots of there's just nothing to do.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah.
It's quite a cool thing because I guess there's loads of like other places of like popular culture we would have seen people have this big four-form grace, but it's cool to see the actual effects of it. Where people like if Darth Vader started like doing stuff that people were like, this is not what we signed up for.
No, this is not absolutely
This
not.
is insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's just stormtroopers
Yeah,
roaming around
exactly,
like,
yeah.
it's like that thing with, like revolutionaries, once
Yeah.
they attain power, lose their principles.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, hello.
This is not what we were working towards.
You were
yeah.
all right before you got a bit of power.
Yeah.
And also here, it's not like just power. It's whether the snake has really like done a number on him.
Yeah.
And we get the blasphemous blade. Just thought it was interesting to say, like, remains, all those little hands on it, remains of the countless heroes he has devoured writhe upon the surface of this blade. Now they share the same blood, bound together as family. So these are all the people that have gone in and tried to kill him before us.
Right.
I kind of surmise.
Yeah,
That's
no,
cool.
And they've just
definitely.
been ingested into the body politic.
Yeah.
And then we kill him using this.
Yeah.
Thought to have been used to hunt an immortal great serpent in the distant past. It manifests a long blade of light when facing such a creature. When their master's heroic aspirations degenerated into mere greed, his men searched for a weapon with which they might halt their lord. So it almost feels like in that previous distant past,
Yeah.
the earlier people knew this fucking snake was not good work.
Yeah.
So did they once defeat it, like Pennywise, and it's gone dormant under Mount Gilmere until Rykard's come
Until a
along? And you're
demigod
like,
came along. Yeah.
You're joking me.
Yeah, because it was also really interesting to think, would it have had the same effect had he not been a demigod as well?
Exactly.
It's like,
Well,
if
he's
he'd
got
just
a
been a
lot of
normal
yeah.
person, like, that's why I was asking earlier, I was like, did someone send him there?
It's like the deity eating one of your power gels.
Yeah.
I did not expect this.
Oh, that gave me a boost. Oh, hell yeah.
I thought it was a froob.
That is sad when your own guys start searching for a weapon that can kill you. That's
Yeah,
when it's like, all right.
It's a similar thing to like what happens to his brother Radon.
Yeah.
Where it's just like this is not a fitting end for our master. Like,
Yeah, he's gone too
again,
far.
a lot of these, especially, well, we don't know about the other ones yet, but the children of Renala seem all right.
Yeah.
Again, they're the stepchildren of Marika.
Yeah.
They all seem pretty decent people.
This is why we need term limits for demigods. 4 years and then a democratic system to elect the next one. Otherwise, you get eaten by a
You
snake.
joking me Trump's removed the rune of death.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He wants to live forever
old is he?
and eat the gods.
We need to
I
get
think
Trump's-
Biden's done that. Have you seen him?
We need to get.
Do you see him listen to that music the other day where he looks like a statue?
No.
Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
He's,
He does look
Amazing.
like he could be part snake.
why'd you want to do that job at that age?
He's just go
Yeah,
to an old
is
folks home in Florida.
What? I don't want to be doing anything like that.
No, getting up at 4 doing a load of...
Unbelievable.
But again, from love to revisit an idea. Remember the 2 previous instances of this? We
Of
talked
the
about?
serpents.
Yeah, let's look at us.
40 hours ago.
Look how we're children.
Powers, put your hoodie on.
That's crazy.
Still not putting your hoodie on. All glasses there.
I know.
So.
Put it on. Who's this? Is this Yorn? Yes. The tornado sword.
Yeah.
I lost that t-shirt. I love that t-shirt.
Oh,
Millhouse.
he looks
with
a
MF.
bit like a snake in it. It looks like Frompt.
Yeah, he does. It's Millhouse with MF Doom's mask on, but yeah, annoying.
Secret of the Knights of Katarina have come to uphold my promise. Let the sun shine upon this Lord.
God, what is this? This is like 2016. This is 9 years ago.
Come on,
No, 8 years ago.
look how black all of my hair is. Like,
It'd be nice to see how black it would be if you hadn't done 8 years of this.
Think though, in 5 years we'll be talking about how good we looked in Elden Ring.
I think we
So-
look good.
I think we do too. I think we've aged like a fine wine.
Actually, I can fast, but like, what happens is we haven't picked up the sword yet, and then we see that happen.
Is that the Onion Knight?
And you're like,
He's kicking his ass.
He is. No, don't you
he
touch
keeps
it.
doing
Yeah,
it.
look.
he's got it. Oh, so he picks it up if you don't pick it
Yeah,
up.
he already has one.
He already has one.
And
Okay,
then
right.
I think we pick it up from the chair behind the dude. And then we start going on him. And then here's the next clip.
Oh,
This is a Storm King one.
Yes.
Remember, this Demon Souls came first out of all of them.
That's
Yeah.
right. Unnecessarily close up. Whoever
This
edited
is great.
that.
So again, they love revisiting a little idea, don't they?
See, I go close enough that I can see your brain.
Yeah,
basically,
thank
and,
you
Working.
for that. Thank you.
But then, just to close the circle on this, and then when Rykard dies, he says, just closing this idea of like what amount of Rykard remains. This is what is said: "No one will hold me captive. A serpent never dies."
Yes.
I like, again, it's just my interpretation. I feel that's the serpent talking through him.
Yeah.
Come on. Unless he now identifies so closely that he's like, I'm the Serpent King.
Yeah.
Can't kill a snake.
Or
Snakes
it's a
live
new
forever.
thing, both of them together.
I love
Yeah.
eating
Like a
mice.
hybrid intelligence.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the snake.
Once we kill it, we were like, oh, there's a little shiny in that corner.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that was?
No, I don't. I can't remember
Remember
now.
what this was? So we were like, it's weird to get like just a regular shiny in
Yeah.
a boss room.
What was this?
It's all right. It's not the quiz yet.
You're like, I can show you.
Brown circlet draped over chainmail. The insignia emblazoned on the front marks out the wearer as the
Oh,
eyes
yeah.
and ears of Sir Gideon, the all-knowing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just to remind you that Gideon's watching us.
Yeah.
He's the all-knowing. This is an agent of his surveillance.
And
You know,
that's
like
how he is the all-knowing, because he's got these people out. Oh, have we seen any of these out before? No.
So where else have they been watching us?
Exactly.
Because I think, remember what the Round Table is? Round Table is the haven for the Tarnished coming back. Each
Yeah.
of them are on their mission to become Elden Lord. And Gideon is all like, let's work together.
Yeah.
Research
Yeah.
project, baby. And he's like, I'll tell you what I know. You tell me what you know.
Yeah.
But he's obviously surveilling us.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, neat. I thought what we could else do before on this round table is Volcano Manor is like a big meeting place for like loads and loads of people.
Yeah.
Just like quickly recap all the people there, just as a little refresher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some people are gone now. As
Some
well.
people, and like we'll now need to know like where will we see them next.
Yeah.
Dialos.
Yes.
So when we first met Dialos, he's like a pretty boy with great, beautiful armor that is unstained in Roundtable. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
my maid, my servant Lanya has been murdered. Wait till I find who did it.
Yeah.
And then he gets here, he's like, all right, I might join you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about him is like, he's quite just delicate. And he's never, like, I think we say in the show, like, he's got soft hands.
Yeah.
Like, he's never seen a proper fight.
Because by
Also-
the end, he was like, oh, actually, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm an embarrassment.
He's a posh boy, and he comes from like obviously this great house. Like the tale of House Hoslow is told in blood.
Yeah.
That's a phrase from like centuries. It sounds like his ancestors were fucking hard bastards
Yeah.
or brutal.
Whereas him-
and now he's like, it's like being David Beckham's son.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard
I've
to
made a
live up to
photo
that.
book. Here you go. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Done. Well done.
Might be a chef now.
Well done, little
Will you?
Beck-
Good.
Little
Good.
Becks.
And worth remembering, our final assassination mission
Yeah.
from Tanith was to kill another Hoslow.
Yeah.
That's right. Forgot about
So
that.
if we'd done that,
You need access to that later part.
Yeah.
So I did think about this. Yeah. So I can, once we've done that mission, I
Yeah.
can show you the alternate reality.
Okay, yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is, to do that, we'd have to do the next part of the game, put Volcano Manor on hold.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible for our playthrough.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, you've done 95% of Volcano Manor, but no ending.
Yeah.
And then blitz it through to that assassination mission, then do
then come
Rykard.
back,
Yeah.
Because once you kill Rykard, Tanith relocates to his boss room and she's like eating him.
But the mad
right.
thing is, if we weren't doing it as we were doing this, so say
You might do.
you were doing this in this order, and then you are doing
You might
those,
not know that there's Rykard to kill.
No, so
you might
you're-
not even find the prison tower.
Yeah, so you're doing those assassination things. You could just go and go, oh yeah, the next place you got to go, House Fozzer. All right, got to work my way there now, and I'll be back in fucking hours.
Where's
That's
that? On the other side of
mad.
Lanedale, is it?
Yeah. Thing is, I do really love that about the Rykard thing, because you're just like, you might not even find that secret little room and stuff like that. Like,
You might just think Volcano Manor is just like this
a
like
little
hub
house.
area. Yeah, the hub area.
so then,
Isn't that insane?
were you saying as well? So if, because I think you said in the show, but if you go and do the House of Hoslow thing and you come back, then she gives you access.
she
Yeah.
then fast tracks you to Rykard.
Rykard. So you wouldn't
still,
see
still
any-
you might not know all the atrocities
you wouldn't, would you?
performed,
Yeah.
or like have that kind of legacy dungeon bit.
So does it just literally transport you to
Yeah,
the room?
I think she
or-
says you might now have audience with
Wow.
the Emperor.
Yeah.
like the Serpent King.
Fucking, that's cool, isn't it?
Just I haven't done the clips here. I think just the things to remember of Dialos that I've just said kind of in top line. He says, I've always resented these hands.
Yeah.
Curse these pale hands.
These metal hands.
Their
Curse these
pale complexion.
Oslo hands.
He says, their pale complexion, a far cry from any warriors, the shame of House Hoslow. So he's become the shame of the house. But that won't be the case for long. They'll be darkened by grit once I've set out on the path of champions.
We've heard it before, mate.
And then one more thing just to remember. It's just as my noble brother says, presumably the person we got to
Gotta
kill.
kill, yeah.
I'm a complete fool. I can't believe I thought I'd come a champion. So it sounds like his brother might be hard.
Yeah.
But he's just like, "Fucking you're I haven't achieved anything at all thus far, even though I've dirtied my hands time and time again. So he felt like joining the Volcano Manor would be his chance to show he's like
Right, yeah.
decent.
Yeah,
like he could
fight
fight,
people and-
but he's like, I'm just killing people here. I brought more shame on my family.
Yeah.
It's like he can't win.
I wonder if then, because then he leaves, isn't he? And he's
Yeah.
gone from that room. So I wonder when we get
need to find him next,
to see
yeah.
his brother, will he be there for
Yeah.
that? Like,
Or what's he doing next?
Yeah.
After he's like feeling embarrassed and ashamed from killing other people for Volcano Manor. Next person is there. Bernhall,
yeah.
the War Master.
Yeah.
Volcano Manor is a pit of recusants, like pit of snakes.
Yeah.
Who spit at grace and hunt their own kind. Spit also associated with snakes.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, isn't it? But yeah, we've met him in former times.
yeah.
Remember he's in that picture at the beginning as well.
Yeah,
Sexy
yeah.
man.
So we now know that he's associated with this kind of worldview because when we first meet him, he's got like this big Zweihander.
Yeah.
But now when we meet him in Volcano Manor, he's got
snake
this.
club,
Now,
yeah.
we don't know what that weapon is, but it's like a hammer with a snake wrapped around it.
Yeah.
So he almost seems associated with this idea of like devouring the
He's gone,
gods.
he's gone quite far with it.
But,
Yeah.
but maybe like maybe just believes what Rykard believed rather than you don't have to do that.
yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah.
our mate.
This is great.
So
Oh, bless
glad we
her
actually
heart.
got this.
Yeah.
So we meet her at the Volcano Manor. But I think I might have said this to you on camera, maybe off camera, that we've already seen her in Altus Plateau.
We've already seen.
Well, we walked right past her. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Oh God!
This is when we go up the lift.
Don't tell me
Yeah.
she's just standing there.
This is our exact footage. So you can see what we saw at the time. Can you spot her?
Oh my goodness.
It's like Where's Wally?
She does have two forms. So
Yeah.
got for snakes and women. Is
And
that what
waypoint. I love
That's a
that we got
quick
off and we
swing.
just went straight the other way.
Yeah. There she is.
There she
There
is.
she is. You see her?
Yeah.
The big tree, man. The big tree took me.
So when you come out, if you've done her necklace stuff back in Liurnia, she's right there.
Can you talk to her?
You talk to her, takes you straight to Volcano Manor.
Oh.
What?
So you don't. You can almost get fast track right to Volcano Manor. You don't have to do the ascent.
That's
you don't have to
insane.
do any of the fields.
Oh my God.
Isn't that bonkers?
If we had talked to her, would you have said like, don't go with
I
her?
think so, but just because
Because that would have been
you don't.
nuts.
Because also, I think I'm not 100% certain on this. I kind of would have told you not to because I think if you talk to her, you don't get patches kicking you off. Because one, you never go that way. But I think also if going there, fast tracks patches moving there.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
right, yeah.
We would have
and
missed
then we
loads
lose the
of stuff.
patch. And
We would have missed Golden Mask and
of
Corin
stuff.
and everything.
That's fucking to be fair, that's criminal for me not spotting that because in the edit as well is where we put Merthyr Tydfil coming up on the thing. So
you're concentrating on Merthyr.
I hung out on this bit of the footage for so long.
But you were then thinking of Wales.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I, was,
Not
I was
snakes.
gone then. Oh, yeah.
We'll run through this really briefly, but we find out that she has a serpentine form.
yeah.
Again,
She's so cute.
that myth
Look
of
at
Aigle, the woman who that's all about humans and snake shape shifting. So we find out that once Rykard has given himself to the snake, it seems like weird hybrids have been created between man and snake.
Yeah.
Right.
Of which Zarias is one and almost the adopted daughter of Tanith and Rykard.
Yeah.
So she could be born to Rykard and Tanith is now her adopted mum.
Hello.
And we give her the serpent amnion. We don't kill her. We don't give her the tonic of forgetfulness that Tanith gives us. Do you remember that was really cute? Well, it's quite melancholic. The tonic of forgetfulness that Tanith gives us is what Rykard gave her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think I'm losing myself now.
Yeah.
Forget me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I will never not love you. I'm going to stay by your side and then I will eat you. You've always been so kind. And then she goes off on her own quest now. I wish to set out on a journey so that one day I can carry on Mother's work, be the proud daughter of Tanith of Volcano Manor. Farewell, you've always been so kind, so uncompromising, my champion.
I hope we see her again.
I hope
Me
we
too.
do as well.
Poor Tanith, she really got roped into this as well. In a
I mean, she was
bad
just
way.
a dancer from a foreign land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's ringing up her mum, and mum's like, "Oh yeah, we haven't seen you for ages. How's it going with
How's Rykard?
Rykard?"
How's Reiki?
Yes, great.
I also maybe
absolutely
reading
great.
too much into it, but if she's a dancer from a foreign land, I think it's quite nice that Rykard married her because he doesn't maybe respect the idea of status or
Yeah. He
doesn't respect the
it's like
gods.
you
Yeah,
love
he's-
you love who you love.
Yeah. Rykard. Why'd you
Quite
get
a
eaten by a
melancholic
snake?
story, Rykard and Tanith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And then we'll just close this out with patches. So once we kill Rykard, he says, this is a line that he has, so I think it's a really good line. Because also in that painting, which depicts it, it's like he's serving Rykard, but is he also looking at Tanith?
Yeah, he definitely.
He's
is,
like,
yeah.
oh, fucking hell, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
He says, once we've killed Rykard, the demigod beast is slain, and Tanith has lost her head. A fine mess. But how else could it end when Daddy Ambition is head over heels courting Lady Blasphemy? So he's almost calling Rykard Daddy Ambition, which is really
yeah.
funny. And he's calling the serpent Lady Blasphemy.
Blasphemy,
and it's
yeah.
almost like the guy who loved you, he's looking after another woman.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
blasphemy itself.
That's
And then we find him bizarrely here.
Yeah, because he says I didn't want you to see like this or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
You again.
Patches.
A shame you had to see me like this. I had a bit of a slip up, that's all.
So I'm unsure of what's really happened to him.
Yeah.
I
I should have stuck to what I know best.
Because I take it as he's just upset. Like nothing bad has happened to him.
like,
He's
I've
just
never,
crying or something.
I've never been genuine before.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not hurt or anything, is he?
A good soul. Make certain that Tanith gets this.
From the painting. Like almost reminding her of former times.
Yeah.
Makes me sick to see her all bent out of shape. Come on, Tanith, back on your high horse where you belong.
He loves her.
He does. He's lovesick. And then we give Tanith the castanets and she does not
Doesn't give
give
a
a
fuck.
shit.
Doesn't
Very
give a
good,
fuck.
like really good like story thing that.
Yeah.
You expect an item in the game to have a use, has literally no
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
She's just like, no.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I mean, it's really heartbreaking.
pathetic.
Yeah, it's really pathetic and heartbreaking that he's just like, oh yeah, give her this, it'll be amazing. And then she's like, I don't care, mate.
I
what
literally
you
don't.
think is going on is
Yeah,
different to
I know.
what is actually
it's
going
really
on.
well done with very little like screen time.
Yeah.
And then here he is.
There he is.
He relocates back to his little cave where we first found him.
Yeah.
And we've left him alive for now.
For now.
Do you think we'll ever kill him?
Yes.
Because we said like as a morale boost, if we need an easy win.
You just go back.
Well, I like the idea.
Or just go back and punch
yeah,
him.
whenever
and,
we're losing in a boss
Thing
fight,
is,
go back and deck him and
do
then
you not
warp
feel a
out.
tiny bit sorry for him?
No.
Have you never felt like he's felt? Have you ever lusted after a dancer from a foreign land?
I saw you in that strip club in Athens. You were lusting after her. Very bad.
I was like, send her this Bud Light from across the room.
Yeah. She's like,
A gift.
Don't
She's
give a
like,
shit. Don't
it's
give
like,
a
no,
shit.
Come on, back on your high horse.
back on your
Yeah.
high horse.
There's a bucking bronco.
We're going to kill him by the end.
You now belong to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant